all they're doing at the moment is just trying to make their mine more efficient. That's live from the mine this morning. We'll show you the solar panels in a couple of minutes. Now, the private sector, I'm told, is going to add about 4 gigawatts of electricity to the grid by the end of 2024. Let's be fair, though, the private sector does not have that. They don't have hundreds of thousands of solar panels. They don't have the space. They certainly don't have the money. But that's what Goldfields South Deep Mine is doing. But how does the private sector do that? And when it comes to government trying to increase private sector participation in its power, rail and water industries, are they winning? Are they making it easy enough? Is there too much red tape? Well, let's get the sense of where we are with this. Mr. Danny Masimene from BBC Black Business Council making time for me this morning. Hello to you, Danny. Good to have you with us this Monday morning. Still seems like a lot of red tape for the average South African to try and get involved in this. You agree or disagree? Where are we on getting better built environments as far as electricity is concerned?
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me this morning. Let me take this opportunity to greet the viewers. Yes, indeed. As introduced, my name is Danny Masimene. I'm the president of Black Business Council in the built environment. So going straight into the question, the red tape, yes, there is still a lot of red tape, and that red tape it is also prevalent in the private sector. For an example, when you talk about the miners, those who are mining coal and they are black, it is very difficult for them to get funding for their operations, mainly because the bank will now hide behind, no, we are no longer funding the fossil fuels. We're concentrating now on funding the green energy. So those are the challenges which affects red tape. And to add to that, we also have, besides the issue of the commercial banks, we also have the DFIs where a government is a stakeholder or a shareholder, and unfortunately they end up applying the same criteria for funding. They are just duplicating what the commercial banks are doing, whereas our expectation was that they will do things differently, and in considering that there is also transformation that needs to happen. And unfortunately, all these things happens in the financial sector, which I believe it is governed by their sector charter document, which guide them in terms of transformation, the BE component and all that.
Yeah, I think there was an expectation it was going to be a lot easier to try and get the financing to grow your business. Danny, speak to me about what more government can do. What else can government do to try and make this a little bit easier? But you just explained very nicely all the red tape involved. Going forward from today, what would you as BBC like to see government do to make it easier to simply do business?
First of all, we've been lobbying and advocating for a state-owned bank, which will be favorable, to those that were previously disadvantaged. So I think that is the first step, and the second part is that touching on the issue of procurement, the procurement has to be designed in such a way that you don't need the record sites, for one to be able to procure. We have to make it easy, in terms of migrating, to digital, not these big documents that you have to fill for weeks even before you get your document ready. If we move to everything become digitalized, and then in the spirit of 4IR, we're able to make life easier. So the other part on procurement is that government need to have certified practitioners in the procurement departments, so that people who understand what entails procurement,
Yeah.
what needs to happen, and all that.
So there's a lot of admin work involved.
Thank you.
As I start saying goodbye to you, give me a sense, if the BBC were to get everything that you're calling for at the moment, how quickly would your organisations, those involved in the Black Business Council, be able to add a significant amount of power back into the grid? In a perfect world, how quickly could you do this, and how much power do you think you would be able to add to the grid?
I think from our side, those who are in the space, they are more than ready. But as I've indicated, they will then require the support. And most of the support is related to finance, capacitating them financially. They are more than ready, because when it comes to the banks, they are frustrated by the commercial banks. Thank you.
All right, Danny, thank you very much. I think you're quite right to put it back down to finances as well. In the end, business makes money, but money makes business as well. Black business.